Okay, it's checking. We are live now. Just give me a second. Okay, if you can hear me on line, say hello. Let me see your comments in the chat. Okay. Okay, we're not live on X. Oh, it says we're live on Facebook. Okay, that's good. How do you share this? Okay. All right, so we're live on LinkedIn. Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining me today from whatever part of the world you are. Okay, I can see comments coming in from LinkedIn. Hello, hi Yahel, how are you today? It's good to see you. Good to have you here. Um, just checking the live streams that everything is working, but looks like everything else is working except for x.com. So I don't know how to fix that. I'll probably just carry on and then we fix that another time. Okay, cool. So let's get started. Today, Saturday, beautiful weather, and I hope the weather is beautiful wherever you are. I'm going to be talking with you or sharing some tips with you this morning on a topic that I think is quite interesting for such a time like this. We're going to be talking about, how I prioritized essential skills for 2025 and beyond. And I think it's an important conversation to have. I don't think what I'm going to share with you today is everything there is to talk about. I don't think I think there's more than just a conversation to be had. But what I'm going to be doing today is basically, when you look at an onion, you're peeling the onion layer by layer. So I think let's take today's conversation as just a layer, one piece or a series of pieces of onion layers that we're basically trying to unravel to get to the core of the fruit or of the vegetable, whatever an onion is. Okay, cool. So I think if you can see me and see my screen, I'm assuming, please say yes in the chat. If you're on YouTube, let me see if the YouTube is working. Live streaming is an interesting concept. Just bear with me, please. Just checking that YouTube is up, so that the guys on YouTube. By the way, I just started my YouTube channel, so if you're just joining me, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's see. No. How do I find? Hold on. If you're on YouTube, let me know. Say hello. Yes, we are live on YouTube. Okay, fantastic. Okay, this is good. All right, cool. This is good. All right, this is good. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's get into the gist of today's conversation, and I will kick it off straight away without any further ado. Right. Hi, Henry. Good to have you here. Welcome. I can see some people on YouTube. I can see some people on LinkedIn. Thank you for joining me. It's Saturday morning. Whatever you're up to this Saturday morning, I hope you find value in the conversation we're going to have in the next couple of minutes. This is just sharing my own personal story on personal development, on skills development, and I'm hoping that this conversation will benefit you and you find value from it. I would like, as much as possible, if you have questions, put them in the chat, or if there's anything you'd like me to clarify as I step through my conversation this morning, please put them in the chat, and I'll do my best to address them. Now, let's get into it. How I prioritized essential skills for 2025 and beyond. For those who work with me closely, or those who are within the ecosystems that where I spend a lot of my time investing in people and developing potentials, either at Join Momentum or Career Bridge or Job Simulator AI or wherever, you most likely will know that this is something I'm very, very passionate about. I'm passionate about helping individuals to achieve their full potentials, whether it's in their career or whether it's got to do with their business. But the first question I want to ask this morning is, what skill or topic have you been meaning to learn, but you have been putting off? Yeah, everybody falls into this trap. What skills have you been meaning to learn and you have been putting off? Put comments in the chat. Let me know if there's a particular skill you have been meaning to learn, but you don't know how to go about it for different reasons. You've been putting it off. What skill is that? The second question is, what's stopping you from focusing on your personal development right now? What is stopping you from focusing on your personal development right now? What is stopping you from focusing on personal development right now? For example, is it too many options and you don't know where to start? If you go on YouTube now, there's so many options of things to learn. If you come to LinkedIn, you are bombarded with your feed with so many training courses and skills development and whatnot. So many gurus, so many experts sharing, knowledge and sharing information and whatnot. So there's a lot of options and people don't know where to start. And that's why I think this conversation is super important. Then also there's a fear of tech and artificial intelligence. Some people are afraid of AI, they're afraid of technology. In fact, a lot of people are actually overwhelmed by tech, because just to learn something simple, just to achieve a seemingly easy objective, the tech overwhelm is real. You've got to go through, learn different tools just to achieve an objective. So that's a real thing. The fear of technology and fear of artificial intelligence are real stuff. That could be reasons why people are kind of stalling when it comes to self-development or skills development. Another one could be lack of time. Right, we live in such a busy world now that is so difficult, or it can be so tricky to find time to invest and dedicate to personal development, to skills development. So this might be your reason. Is it lack of time? You don't have enough time to study, enough time to practice, enough time to read, or enough time to complete that training, and so on and so forth. Lack of time is also another one. Or something like nobody to hold you or hold me accountable. That's another thing. As human beings, we thrive when we are in groups, or when we have somebody that can hold us accountable, or somebody or some people or some group where we belong and learn together. So this could be another reason why you're not able to get that skills development objective going. Now this is another one I found super interesting as well. Just bear with me. It looks like my camera is shaky. Bear with me. Let's try again. Is my camera shaky? Yeah, okay. Looks like I'm back. Let's see. Okay, I'm back. All right, good. So, like I was saying, for many reasons, some people just keep buying courses. I mean, I've been there. I buy a lot of courses. I take a lot of training. But the thing is, do I finish them? No, I don't. And a lot of people fall into this same trap, right? A lot of people, many of us fall into this same trap. Another reason I've got here is the lack of instant results. Maybe you've been trying, you've been taking training, you've been taking courses, but you don't see the immediate result of those development or personal development efforts that you're making, and it can be frustrating. It can be a reason why you just like, you know what, this one can take the back seat. But what I want to share with you today is the reason why this is an important conversation to have now. This is important. Why this matters now. Okay. First things first. The scale economy has changed. The scale economy has changed. So you've got to change. And the first question I want to ask you this morning is: have you changed? 44% of core skills will change by 2028. What we call core skills or um, professional skills today, everything, 44% of them will be eradicated and replaced by new core skills in the next 2 to 3 years. And I think 2028 is even long. We can see them changing already in the marketplace. 97 million new roles could emerge this year, 2025. You see a lot of new job roles that we've not heard of before, new job titles we've not heard of before. And all of that is happening on the back of the fact that the skills landscape has moved, is changing. And it's changing at a very, very fast pace. That is. So you've got to catch up. 25% growth in AI related skill updates on LinkedIn last year. So this year is even growing so fast. So you've got to really, really catch up. And most of us were taught to get degrees. Most of us were taught to get degrees. We're not taught to adapt. Unfortunately, the school system has failed, many of us. What we call academic degree. And there's nothing wrong with academics. I just think that it's the ability to adapt our academia or academic knowledge or academic skills or whatever into the real world, into the marketplace, to bring value and make sure that we're not stuck. I think that's where many of us struggle. We were taught to get these degrees, but we're not really taught to adapt. And I've been there. That's the interesting thing. That's why I'm going to be having these conversations, more and more of these conversations going forward. I've been there, 40 plus saved courses, finished just 5. I felt left behind in conversations about artificial intelligence as well, many times. The problem was not actually the motivation. The problem was not that I didn't have the motivation. It was actually a method. The method I was adopting was the problem. It wasn't it wasn't a lack of motivation. It was just the method that was the problem. Let's take you forward. What a question for you. If you're with me here, it says, what does future ready mean to you personally? Now, I'm not expecting to answer that question, but think about it. What does future ready mean to you as a person? What does it mean to you? And this is what I want to share with you in the next few minutes. My breakthrough framework that changed everything for me. It is called the RLT method. The RLT method. I think in this design, I probably should have like a Venn diagram of sort or something like that. But anyway, um, when I would improve this and keep, but I just want to continue to share as I go along. But the RLT method stands for 3 things. Number 1, the R stands for relevance, the L stands for leverage, and the T is transferability. R for relevance, L for leverage, and T for transferability. If you're following me, R for relevance, and let me just break it down. When I talk about relevance, will this skill matter in the next year, in the next 1 year? Now, if you think about it, when you go to school or you go to university, you get a degree. You probably get a degree in finance. I mean, I trained as a chartered accountant, as a finance professional, practiced for many years. And if anybody asks me, what is your career trajectory, probably say, oh, maybe a CFO or a finance director or finance something, or an accountant or something like that. But the truth is that the market changed so rapidly, and I found myself moving, tilting away, like massively away, and expanding my scope into technology, not just the finance side of things, not just the business side of things. And so the question you want to be asking yourself is, this skill I'm learning, will it matter to me and matter in the marketplace in the next 12 months? Don't think 5 years, don't think like 10 years and all that, because things are changing so fast. And that's what I'm talking about. Many of us think whatever it is we're doing, no, this is what I'm going to be doing, the rest of my life, or for the next 15 years, I'm going to be. No, there are some skills, there's some particular disciplines that, yes, you can think about, oh, I want to be a surgeon and I'll be a surgeon for. But what I'm talking about here are key skills that will continue to evolve. They will continue to change. So don't think beyond the 12-month horizon to say, this skill I'm learning today, will it matter in the next 12 months? If it's not going to matter in the next 12 months, then you should be questioning and prioritizing, in that order. The second thing about leverage is, can it multiply my income and or my impact? Can this skill multiply my income or my impact? When I say income, whether from a job, yeah, income whether from getting gigs or projects, or impact, whether that's to build a brand or to create value in your own ecosystem, or to begin to grow your impact. If that skill is not going to be doing that for you, then you should be asking questions. I hope you're following me. You should be asking questions. And the last one here is transferability. Can I apply this skill across multiple roles and industries? Can I apply this skill across multiple roles and industries? That's the other question you want to ask yourself. Can it be applied across multiple roles and industries? Yeah. If it cannot be applied across, then you should be asking yourself questions. I'll give you some examples in a moment. But let me tell you the key skills that I prioritized using this framework. The RLT framework, which are relevance, leverage, and transferability. And these are the key skills that I prioritized. Like I said, this is about my personal development story. The six future ready skills that change everything for me. Number one is artificial intelligence literacy. AI literacy is super important. I want to talk about AI literacy. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about the ability to just talk about AI. I'm talking about understanding artificial intelligence and how it impacts or translates into my day-to-day work, right? How do I leverage artificial intelligence in executing my task, in managing my team, in simplifying my life, in multiplying my productivity, in scaling my business, and so on and so forth. Literacy when it comes to artificial intelligence. That's the top. That's number one skill that I prioritize. Number two, what I'm doing now, digital storytelling. I'm going to continue doing this. I've done this for a long time, and I've realized that these skills, this is something I need to continue doing and begin to optimize. Yeah. Now, it doesn't mean that spare me. It does not mean that you have to do all of these things at once, right? But you basically have to identify what are those important skills and where do you apply them, such that they begin to help you to either increase your income or increase or multiply your impact. Okay, digital storytelling is another one. The third one is no code tools. Those who know me, if you work with me every day at Drum Momentum, or in any other organization, you probably know that this is something that I'm very, very keen on. You don't have to be a programmer, you don't have to be a developer, but definitely learning no code tools mean that anybody can actually. There's so many tools now that you don't even need to be, an engineer to be able to spin up solutions and create offers and products and all that type of stuff. The fourth one rather, is product thinking. Product thinking. Now, when I say product thinking, I'm talking about the fact that, how do I productize this offers or this idea or this service or this product or this information? Thinking in product, thinking in product, thinking in product. Meaning, what value can this bring to the marketplace that can be exchanged, by somebody else, or will somebody be willing to pay for? That's product mindset. And then the next one is emotional intelligence. This is more important than ever. Emotional intelligence. That's the next one I prioritize. And the last one is data fluency. I mentioned earlier, I have a background in finance and accounting. So the numbers are so important to me. In fact, at Joint Momentum, one of the things we do every week is we look at our numbers. We're looking at our stats in terms of the impact we are making, how we're performing across, social media, what is going on in that landscape, and how do we see the trends? Because then that gives us ideas on what we should be doing next and what we should be focusing on next, and how change things we need to change, and so on and so forth. So data fluency is super important. Yesterday I was in a training session. We're talking about business financials, understanding the financials of your business and whatnot. Just know the data points and how those data points impact or correlate to the thing that you're doing, whether it's a business, whether it's a career, whether it's a venture, whatever it is. Data fluency is the one I prioritize. Now I'm going to go looking at my time. Okay, I'm going to go into some skills that I believe solopreneurs should focus on. When I use the term solopreneurs, I use it quote unquote carefully, because a lot of people think that, and this is something I'm beginning to hammer on, is very important now than ever, that as you build your career or build your skills, you've got to start investing in building your agency, the agency of you. The agency of you. And this is something I'm telling all my team members. Begin to think about this, because, like I said, the skills landscape has changed. You've got to change your strategy. It's not longer enough for you to have a skill or have some sort of capability and you hide it, or you don't show your face, or you don't talk about what you do. No, it's no longer, that is not a good strategy anymore. You've got to show up, you've got to talk about it, you've got to demonstrate it, you've got to bring value, you've got to educate, you've got to share, you've got to help people, you've got to support, you've got to bring something to the ecosystem, to the marketplace, right? And that's why I said solopreneur. So solopreneur does not exclude career professionals. I'm talking about everybody. I'm using solopreneur as a language for everybody. Whether you're working in a company as an entrepreneur, or you're working outside on a business as an entrepreneur, this actually covers everybody. So listen to this. Number one, visibility and credibility. Visibility and credibility. I've kind of combined them here. And when I talk about visibility and credibility, I'm talking about take your personal branding seriously. Invest in your personal branding. And how do you do that? You can do that with content marketing. So if you do not know how to do content, or how to write content, or what to say, or what to share, we can have those conversations separately. But you've got to be visible, right? And not just visible, you've got to be credible. You've got to be visible and you've got to be credible. If you're not, then you're not doing yourself any favor. Then the second thing is you've got to offer clarity and systems. I mentioned product thinking earlier, and this is where this comes to play. You've got to think about productized services, the skill that I have, the knowledge that I have, the experience that I have, my capabilities. How can I offer them as productized or as services, productized services? How can I get people to buy me, or buy what I do, or buy what I offer? I hope that's making sense. And of course, this is something we're really teaching a lot of our people at Joint Momentum now. Funnel building. You've got to build system that can automate everything I've just talked about, from when you think about the concept to, making it available, and also automating the process that can actually execute and deliver those services to your target audience. So funnel building is super important. That's when I'm talking about systems. You've got to think about. And then finally, client delivery and operations. Think about, how do I onboard people that want to buy what I sell, or people that want to work with me? How do I automate that process? Okay. And then you have to start learning, or if you're not already, you have to start expanding the scope of the project tools that you can use, right? I want to take project tools, project collaboration tools, task management tools, automation frameworks, and so on and so forth. It is super important now that you need to begin to think about that. It doesn't really, and these are things that does not matter your core tech stack, whether you're an engineer, or whether you're a consultant, or whether you're a marketer. This applies to everybody. Listen to this: 60% of consultants struggle due to unclear offers. People don't know what it is that you do. People, people don't know what you offer. A lot of people struggle because people don't know what it is that you do. And as I finish up this conversation this morning, I want to talk about Joy Momentum a little bit. We are the number one career tech platform helping you to build multiple income streams with artificial intelligence, automation, and skills-based systems. Okay, I'm going to do a short demo of one of our new offers, which is called Byte. Byte stands for Build Your Transformation Engine, and I'm going to talk through Byte just in a very few seconds. But before I do that, for some of you who might be wondering what exactly is Byte and how does this work, so let's go to www.joinmomentum.co.uk/Byte. Okay, fantastic. So this is Byte, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to be talking about this more and more because we are creating this to help solopreneurs, founders, career professionals to not just build a career. No, those conversations need to advance beyond building a career. Now we are talking about how to multiply your income. It's no longer enough to have one source of income. So when you come into our ecosystem now, we are not just training you to become another job applicant. I don't know if that makes sense. We don't want to, no, we were doing that. We used to do that. We started from there. But now we want to empower you to be able to start earning income even whilst you're working with us after you finish your program at Joy Momentum. And how do you do that? We've got to teach people to launch and grow businesses that run like clockwork. Even if there's no budget, there's no tech skill, we want to be able to do that. And that is what Byte brings for you. The first thing you want to do about Byte, before I go into Byte into any more detail, is if you are thinking about, okay, I don't know how to create things like marketing funnels. I don't even have a product. I don't even have an offer. AI is overwhelming me. I don't have a team to support me. And all those things that become blockers in your mind, those mental blockers that make you want to do something, but you kind of just stall. You don't know how to progress. That exactly is what we are trying to solve with Byte. And Byte is not just about technology, it's actually about systems. So we are thinking systems, and this is a system that we are bringing into the marketplace. You hear more about it later, but first thing you want to do is you want to book a free 15 minutes clarity call to ask questions and see whether this is something you want to go. I'm going to put a link in the chat anyway, so that if people are trying to find it, so it's joinmomentum.co.uk/Byte. The other thing to bear in mind is we have a community that is free to join. We literally just set up the community, so it's brand new. The whole idea of the community is to, number one, bring, I mentioned earlier, one of the reasons why people get stuck in their development journey is there's nobody to keep them accountable, right? But the digital wealth circle, if you have an idea, whether you're a coach or you're a consultant or you're a creator, or you're thinking about, I have something valuable I can offer, but the moment you try, you are lost in too many tech stack. You don't know what to do first. You don't know where to start first. You're trying to sell, but there's no proper system. This is what Byte addresses. Or you're thinking about it, but you're doing it all alone. Right? You don't have to do that all alone. And I'm going to have a separate conversation about, especially for the immigrant community, whether in the United Kingdom or in Europe or in the US, especially in the West, a lot of people are looking for solutions to create opportunities to earn, multiple streams of income. This is a very good way to earn multiple streams of income because Byte gives you that momentum. Byte gives you that energy. And you can join the Digital Wealth Circle at no cost right now. We're still making it free. Hopefully, it remains like that for a bit. But it's free to join. And the community there's loads and loads and loads of learning that we're bringing to that. Now, let me quickly dive into the key things that Byte offers as I bring this conversation to a close this morning. We are on the clock for 45 minutes. Now, the reason why a lot of solopreneurs struggle, I think I mentioned that earlier, is lack of visibility, right? Nobody is seeing you. Nobody, people don't, your customers or target audience can't find you. And as a result of that, you don't get customers. You don't get people buying what it is you're offering, whether as a service provider or whether as a career professional or whether as a founder or whatever. But they are the things that they are the systems that Byte brings to the table. The first thing is you've got a pre-built funnel and a website. You've got ready to sell products that you can actually just, off and go. And all you have to do is customize it, brand it as yourself, and you launch. So you don't have to, you get over that, cycle of getting stuck and not knowing what to do. We also have powerful smart business tools like a powerful AI chatbot that can handle a lot of things for you, to send emails, follow-ups, respond to customers on your website or on your WhatsApp and so on and so forth. And then we have trained associates, interns at Join Momentum who can join. Many people are working, for example, and to run a business or to set up a business, it can be really difficult to do things like operations, admin task, research, social media, content marketing, and scheduling and all that stuff. A lot of people will resort to going to hire a virtual assistant and all that stuff. We're saying you don't have to do that, because the cost of doing that and the overhead of training your virtual assistant, why don't you absorb everything into one system that takes care of all that, pain of all that off your plate? And of course, you get a virtual workspace. We're setting that up right now, and it's looking good. Virtual workspace and tools that can help you to track your work, collaborate, and all that stuff. Check in every week in a business community, and this is important. Look at this. You get featured on our podcast as well. That's visibility. You get listed on our directory. Okay, that's discoverability, and you get shout outs, which is basically recognition. That's what many people do not have: recognition, validation, credibility. You don't have that, and Byte gives you that all out of the box. Let me quickly go through. So this to wrap it up. We've got 3 packages of Bytes. You can get the launch package, you can get the grow package, or the shine package. 3 of them offer different levels of features and things that you get. Please check it out on our website. Again, the website page for Byte is www.joinmomentum.co.uk/Byte, BYTE, by the way. All right, so that's Byte. There's a lot I can talk about, but again, we'll have this conversation. If you're not clear about anything, you need more clarity, just go there and you can schedule a free consultation, 15 minutes consultation with members of my team. Okay. The last one is simulations. A lot of people don't know that you can actually use simulations as a way to develop yourself. You can use simulations to grow your skills. You can use simulations you don't have to wait until you get a job to get a job. I think that's going to be one of the things I'm going to expand on in my next workshop. So practice simulation is super important. And you know what's interesting? Even with Byte that I mentioned earlier, we are making our simulations available now. If you're a coach, if you're a trainer, if you're a consultant, you can come and take our simulations and use them to train your client. If you're a community leader, you can take them and use them to validate the skills of members of your community or your audience. That way you are using AI powered simulations to validate and improve people's skills beyond just dumping information on them and teaching them with PowerPoint slide. And finally, again, show up and add value. Look at me here. I'm showing up. It's a Saturday morning. I'm going to go for a run, but I've got to do this first. So it's showing up and adding value. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you to you for joining me this morning. In my next series, I'm going to be expanding further on some of these things. And I want to believe that this series, I know this series started early this year. I took a long pause, but I'm back now and expect to see more of me on your screens. On that note, I'm going to call it a day. If you have questions, please feel free, put your questions in the chat. Again, thank you. I appreciate your time.